noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. I'm Carly Willis. COVID-19 now has its hand in the Sedgwick County Jail. Colonel Brian White says that of the 49 inmates tested for the coronavirus, 22 results came back positive. That's out of more than 1,400 inmates. Beyond the positive cases, more than 24 are in isolation.
Currently, 27 inmates are still quarantined under the guidance of the Kansas Department of Health and Environment and our on-site medical vendor to ensure they remain symptom-free.
Since the pandemic began, 24 inmates in Sedgwick County jail facilities have tested positive. Officials say they have also tested staff members, but none of those results have come back positive. Well, one person is now dead after a collision with a semi-truck south of Newton. This happened just about an hour ago. A vehicle collided with a semi in the 5600 block of South Kansas. Dispatch has confirmed that one person was killed. Crews are responding to the scene and will bring you more details as we find them out. A car chase ended in a crash near Hayesville early this morning, sending one person to the hospital. Authorities say they were searching for a group of people who may have been involved with a break-in or robbery when they got a description of the car. A chase followed and ended when the car flipped into a ditch. One woman in the car was taken to the hospital, 2 others were detained, and officials are looking for a 4th person. Well, Wichita police trying to track down the man they say shot and killed an employee at a Southeast Wichita AutoZone on Sunday night. They released this photo of the suspect yesterday, and they're asking for the public's help identifying him. Police say the suspect walked into the store, shot the employee, and then left. Districts all across the state are taking another look at their calendars to determine if they need to push back the start of the fall semester. In Mays, the board voted to start school on September 8th. The superintendent says he wanted to make sure staff and students will be protected during the pandemic. Goddard Public Schools will do the same. USD 265 officials say the delay will give the district time to finalize class and staff schedules.
The numbers in our county especially are concerning for staff and parents, and so I think easily justifies the extension of time.
So by prolonging it, it gives us more track to have safety for our teachers and their kids.
Both Mays and Goddard Public Schools took parent and teacher surveys where the majority preferred a delayed start. You can find a full list on KSN.com of each decision made. Well, it's the fate of high school fall activities. Today, the Kansas State High School Activities Association will meet. Last week, they sent a survey to all superintendents to see what districts are starting in August and which ones will move to September. The board is expected to go over the results and could vote on a start date for fall activities. While moving back to a partial closure, it's the warning from Governor Kelly. That's if coronavirus cases continue to rise. The KDHE says there are now 26,172 total cases. That's up more than 1,000 from Friday. 9 more people have passed away, and the total death toll is at 335. The governor says if the numbers don't start going down, she will close bars and nightclubs and limit mass gatherings to 15 people.
Yeah, we will continue to monitor the situation this week, and then we'll make a decision whether to issue another executive order next week.
It is still up to the county commissions to enforce the governor's orders. The governor says she hopes they will help move Kansas in the right direction. Well, the number of patients at Wichita hospitals is going up. The Sedgwick County Health Department says there are 63 patients at Wesley and Via Christi. That's 5 more than last week. Of those hospitalized, half are in the ICU. The health department says there are only 22 ICU beds available between the hospitals. Well, research for a coronavirus vaccine is on the fast track. Phase 3 trials for one started this week, and another major drug company is now joining the race. Though there are still many challenges ahead, NBC's Tom Costello reports things are already moving at record speed.
This morning, another potential coronavirus vaccine is entering late-stage testing. Today, Pfizer set to begin phase 3 dosing of its candidate, the drug company joining Moderna at this critical juncture.
This is the main event, if you will, in drug development.
Both Moderna and Pfizer looking for 30,000 volunteers, with Moderna dosing at 89 sites across the country. Pfizer planning to test at 120 sites globally, including 39 states. Late Monday, Dr. Anthony Fauci expressed optimism about the Moderna vaccine developed in collaboration with the NIH.
I can't guarantee you the success of the vaccine because only a clinical trial will determine that. But I can virtually guarantee you that this has got off to a good start.
The president also touting what he calls tremendous progress.
We've shaved years off of the time that it takes to develop a vaccine, and we've done it while maintaining the FDA gold standard for safety.
In addition to Moderna, several other Operation Warp Speed vaccines are on track for phase 3 trials, including Novavax, Johnson & Johnson, and AstraZeneca.
No one company at this stage can make enough vaccine to satisfy all the need that will exist in this country. And so we need multiple companies to be successful to get to the end zone.
Another key test for these clinical trials, recruiting volunteers from diverse at-risk populations.
It's affecting more vulnerable people in the population, the elderly, people with underlying diseases, and also certain racial and ethnic groups.
Both Moderna and Pfizer are advancing experimental types of vaccines. Rather than manipulating the live virus, they're delivering genetic instructions known as messenger RNA. The hope is that the immune system then creates COVID-fighting antibodies, but the technology is brand new.
The ultimate goal would be to have a very safe, very effective vaccine, and it doesn't have to help 100% of people, but it needs to help, a majority.
Drug companies are hopeful that they could have a vaccine for FDA approval later this year. The challenge then becomes, who do you give the vaccine to first? Dr. Fauci says they would likely prioritize healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, paramedics, and then the elderly, and then people with underlying health conditions as they broaden out distribution to the entire country. I'm Tom Costello in Washington. Back to you.
Well, today is the deadline to request a ballot if you want to vote by mail. So far, 303,000 ballots were mailed out this year, and 88,000 have already been returned. In 2016, nearly 48,000 ballots were sent out and 13,000 were returned. To find out how to request a mail-in ballot, just go to KSN.com. Well, asking the tough questions. Coming up, KSN's Brett Vigansky